couple months since I've been back here. We super stocked this bad boy. The nice thing is it looks like it's been getting some attention. The machine as a whole still looks like it's in good condition. If anything, I could probably get away with just throwing in some Skittles and some Reese's. And maybe some peanut M&Ms. I could probably get away with keeping it as is for right now. The candy looks really fresh. Labels look good. Candy looks good. Everything looks good. Looks in working order. Definitely got to test the machines, whether you think so or not. Let's just go ahead, restock, wipe it down, collect, and on to the next. A really cool shop. There's a pool table in the back, which is really cool. They got a lotto machine. They got an ATM machine right here. I actually was talking to the owner just a minute ago who was outside. And I remember I called another location randomly and they're like, oh, hey, our other location, this location, the candy's not like tasting good. I laughed it off because I was like suggestively selling my candy machine to a random bar, and the first thing they say is, "Hey, there's an issue with your candy machine at your other bar." And I'm thinking, how the fuck does this guy know? How does he know? And I was like, right on it, sir. You want a candy machine too? I'll do better. Anyways, she said they're like independently owned. So for some reason, if I wanted to throw a candy machine in there, I'd have to ask each location on their own terms. So yeah, she mentioned one is like Los Alamitos. The other one's Westminster. I didn't really catch the names fast enough, so I don't really know. But one of them we already know I have on the list and I hit up. And if anything, it just becomes back into the pool of generalizations of all the great places that I need to hit up. Anyways, let's go ahead, do a little restock, wipe this down. I got Vegas coming up. So anyways, my last video that I posted, I was hum-dibbly-dum doing my deposit day of my collections, of my collective collections that just needed to get dumped in, right? The good news is I had about $250 worth of quarters and I had about $250 worth of sales in some used candy machines, which is great. So it was about a $500 deposit. The bad news was there were some people behind me that were impatiently waiting for me, and they didn't like the fact that I was one-handedly working on separating the quarters out or the keys out and the extra stuff and then dumping in the quarters and then doing the video. So all of a sudden, it's hard to hear, but in the background they start calling me out. Like the dude's like, it's like a dude and a girl, and he's like, hey buddy, can you like hurry it up, blah blah blah, and starts running his mouth, and then she runs her mouth, and she actually said something kind of funny. And the funny thing is, if I could have like ran so many different ways with it. Like, let's just say I would have like digested in like what she said. I bet I could have another day, another light, right? I could have probably laughed it off and looked at her and said, hey, that's actually pretty good material right there, and I could have followed that up with conceding. I could have admit guilt or fault. I could have said, yeah, you're right. Let me hurry up. Oh, sorry, been apologetic. I didn't know you were waiting to use the coin machine. Nor do I care to pay attention to you. And when you're somewhere sitting around in the lobby or you're off next to the tellers, how am I supposed to know? I'm not paying attention to you, that you're waiting. And there's a way to go about it. There's a way to ask me or to say something like, oh, hey, we're waiting for, just let you know we're waiting for the coin machine. The bank's going to close soon, so we're just hoping to use it before they close, right? And then I would have been like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. I'll be done in a minute, and it's all yours, right? And the line that she said that I could have laughed off was because they were overhearing about me talk about the side hustles. And so she's like, your side hustle needs hustle, right? Followed up with which I thought was a funny line after I reheard it. But the way that they're coming across was like a couple of pompous, arrogant, bratty birds just heckling me, right? And I'm not feeling it. I wasn't feeling it. You know what I mean? I don't need you to come across and verbally attack me. And I don't know if I'm being too sensitive by phrasing it that way. But when you start running your mouth and then you expect positive results, you're going to give like a negative connotation on your words towards me, and then you're going to expect me to just oblige. I don't think so. You know what I mean? And it's almost like some crossroads. And the thing is, I'm usually pretty cool with everyone, and so I'm not usually in situations of confrontation. And so I don't really know how to react when it comes down to situations like that. But I noticed I could feel my body internally start boiling, the blood. The blood started boiling. I started feeling that internal type of flight or fight type mechanism, right, kick in. And then on top of that, I noticed I became a little shaky and my words a little heart racy, and maybe I was a little nervous, or maybe just a complete pussy wuss, and the wuss inside of me just started frolicking around in not stagnation, but just staggering and kind of jumbling my words, or scared to, say something that was out of character or that would promote the worst, which would be some sort of verbal argument or dispute or fight, or have it turn into something worse, right? This guy was bigger than me for sure. And so, it's I would probably get my ass kicked when it came down to it. He did not seem athletic or fit, and you never know. I did just go to the chiropractor. My back is feeling like $1 million today. Maybe I could find a way to best in a physical situation with someone like that. But I don't have much fighting skills either. Nor do I want to go down that rabbit hole. It's not good, right? It's going to lead to anyways, I'm not going to go to jail over something so stupid, And so I'm at a crossroads. What do you do? How do you act? What do you say? Do you say anything? And I got a little I just started talking in the video, as you can see if you watched the last one, and I was something about I'm when confrontation comes your way, you just ignore it. And I start talking about like my poker coming up again, right? Just to kind of be an asshole back. Like, I don't give a fuck about you or what you're saying. You're nothing to me. And I think that might be one way to handle it. But then they kept running their mouth, and it was like bringing the worst out of me, which is what I despise. And I'm mad at myself for giving in to those emotions, right? First of all, I never like playing someone else's game. If their game is to get that emotional reaction out of me, they win. They win. And I felt like they won today because of that. Me ignoring them and talking back to the camera and just, you know, like if I would have just put like AirPods in if I had them, that's a win for me. I never gave in. I never stooped down to their level verbally, right? I didn't give in to some sort of confrontation. I didn't give them the satisfaction that it fucking got to me. And unfortunately, it got to me. And I hollered back. And I look past them at the guy who's watching, this quote unquote like manager guy in charge of like the bank. And I said to him, are you just gonna let them sit here and talk to me like that? Are you really just gonna sit back and let them come up to me and start pestering me like this when I'm not doing anything wrong? You know what I mean? And his response was like, oh, well, there's no physical argument. I thought I'd just let you guys, work it out like mature adults. And I'm thinking, if you wait till it becomes physical, it's gone way far past the line. And it's like, if that's where you're starting, has the line getting drawn, you're way past it. All right, buddy. So I really don't appreciate him just watching it go down and allowing it, right? And it's like, he's like, well, I didn't say anything to you videoing your video and, using the machine. And I'm thinking, well, there's no reason to say anything. I mean, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm using the machine at like an adequate amount of time. I'm not sitting there like one or the other. I'm literally shuffling through, grabbing what I need to sort out. They're yelling at me that, oh, the whatever it does in the machine take, it'll spit it out at the bottom. Like I'm some sort of fucking moron. Oh, really? Oh, really? The machine's gonna spit it out? Oh, okay, the machine. That's what I wanted to say, right? I wanted to mock him back so bad, but I was still at the point of holding back. Oh, the machine, it'll spit it out? Okay, asshole and asshole boy, asshole girl. Well, let me tell you this. I got keys, okay? I have nuts and bolts, okay? Maybe the nuts and bolts, if keys go down here, they may not spit them out. And these are keys for machines for my candy machines. If I don't get those keys back, that could cost me a lot of money. No, I'm not gonna, the machine? Oh, just throw it all down there? Just throw it all down the sink, right? The garbage disposal, we'll just take care of it, right? Okay, cool. No, that's not how I do things. I'm gonna pull out all my keys. All right, I'm going to pull out all my bolts. I'm going to pull out anything that I don't want to put down that machine, and then I'm going to filter it through. So I told them, I said, hey, if you wanted to use the machine, you could have got here before me. But you didn't. This is my turn to use the machine. I'm going to be a few minutes. Why don't you go be proactive and go buy some groceries, or why don't you play on your phone or why don't you talk to each other? You can't wait 5 minutes. You got to get in my face and start running your mouth. So when I'm talking to him, I'm like, you're not going to do anything about this? And then I was like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? And then they got me when I said, the guy started videotaping me. He started videotaping me, and I said, why don't you guys just shut your mouth, right? And I said something like that, and he's like, oh, look who's getting aggressive now. And then I was done, And I was like, it took a few minutes. It's all yours. You know what I mean? And then they started talking some shit, like maybe about going on to my channel and talking shit or trashing me, something like that. Or they're like, good luck with the side hustles, ha ha ha. And then I replied, good luck with being a loser for the rest of your life. Good luck with that, right? Fucking losers. So anyways, and then the owner, the kid that was working comes up to me because I asked for his business card. He gave me the business card and he said, you know, I didn't say anything to you when you started talking. I didn't say anything to them. I thought you guys could handle it like mature adults. And I'm like, dude, I can't believe that you would let these people come up to me and start talking to me that way and start yelling at me and start heckling me and berating me, and you're gonna sit there and not do anything. And I was like, yeah, you know, and I knew the one thing that would affect this dude, which it always does, is when I say, hey, write down your name on a business card, you know, and I want to talk to your manager, I want to call corporate, and I want to run my mouth with your name written all over it. But you know what? The problem is I don't really have a problem with that guy as much as I have a problem with those people and the way they acted. Now, I could be over melodramatic, over exaggerating. I'm not over exaggerating, but am I taking it too critically? Should that just roll off my shoulders? Is that really not? Is that, you know, for them heckling me like that? I should have laughed it off. Couldn't believe they got to me and they got a reaction out of me. And I'm disappointed with the way that I ultimately handled it. And the question is, what is the right way to handle it? What do you think? What do you broettes think? If you've ever had some sort of confrontation on the smallest scale, on the biggest scale, anything in between on the spectrum, how do you handle it? What's the right way to handle it? What's the wrong way to handle it? How did you handle it? How would you have liked to handle it? You know, I'm curious to know, how did I handle it? You know? Yeah, so unexpected, but it's just how it went down. And obviously I'm thinking about it. I don't want to be thinking about it. This is the type of stuff I try to avoid because I don't like having this inside of me. I didn't like the feeling it gave me then. I don't like the way I reacted. I don't like how I'm holding on to it now. And that's kind of the reason why I'm talking to you, probably because I don't have much of a social life. So I can't really hit up homies or family when they don't really exist. And I wish I kind of had some go-tos, you know? So if anything, at least I have my channel, my go-to channel to vent to the world who wants to listen and wants to share and reply. So anyways, we're going to hit up the scanning machine. I got Vegas coming up tomorrow. You know, I really got to let it go. I wish I was like good. I'm supposed to be Bangarang. I'm supposed to be Rufio. It's like, get him back, Rufio. I want to be good at shit talking. I want to be good at just dumping it back at them. Even though I know that's not the right play, I wish I could just right? Just get them back. And it doesn't have to be cussing or violent or trashy or derogatory. No. I want to be able to I wish I could have just spun it up, right? And just really just did a number on them, but like in a more elegant, deeper, like intelligent sort of way. You know, I wish I was there. I wish that was where I was at. Or I didn't give them the satisfaction at all and did nothing, right? And just kept playing like I don't care. I shouldn't have even given in. As soon as I gave in, I gave them, I felt like I gave them the power, I gave them the satisfaction, right? And at that point, they probably felt victorious. Anyways. Yeah, obviously I'm still bent by it. But anyways, let's check on this candy machine.